two corners of the world, two impossible creatures, one shared nightmare that refuses to die. Welcome to Whispers of Mystery. For 1,500 years, the black waters of the Scottish Highlands have hidden a secret massive enough to swallow history whole. While thousands of miles away, under the hot Caribbean moon of 1995, a new terror was born in blood and panic. They call her Nessie, a charming nickname for what the Irish monk Saint Columba first described in 565 AD as a lethal water beast. But the true mania began in 1933. A new road sliced through the wilderness, offering the first clear views of the Loch's terrifying vastness. That year, George Spicer and his wife slammed on their brakes. They watched a prehistoric, long-necked nightmare lumber across the road and vanish into the water. The world went mad. Was a plesiosaur, a relic from the age of dinosaurs, trapped in this glacial scar of a lake? Cut to Puerto Rico, 60 years later. The fear wasn't ancient. It was alien, and it didn't hide deep underwater. It came to your backyard. Farmers woke to horror. Dozens of livestock, sheep, goats, chickens, dead. Not eaten, but drained entirely of their blood through precise puncture wounds. The local press coined the name that would haunt the dreams of children across Latin America: El Chupacabra, the goat sucker. The first eyewitness, Madeline Tolentino, didn't describe an animal. She described a monster straight out of science fiction. 3 feet tall, bipedal, glowing red eyes, and a row of razor-sharp quills running down its alien spine. But here is the hook that skeptics love. Her description perfectly matched the alien creature from the movie Species, released just weeks before her sighting. Was the original Chupacabra born from a real encounter, or a terrifying memory hallucination sparked by Hollywood horror? While Puerto Rico chased aliens, Scotland chased ghosts on sonar. The water was too dark for eyes, so they used sound. In 1960, aeronautical engineer Tim Dinsdale filmed something. RAF experts analyzed it. It wasn't a surface boat. It was a large, moving, submerged object. The Loch is a master of deception. It's long, narrow, and prone to seiches, standing waves that look exactly like a hump moving against the wind. Skeptics offered alternatives: a giant Wells catfish introduced under the cover of darkness, a massive armored sturgeon lurking in the depths. But while Nessie remained elusive, the Chupacabra did something incredible. It migrated, and it mutated. By the early 2000s, the reports stopped coming from the Caribbean and exploded across Texas and Mexico. The bipedal alien with spikes was gone. The new Texas Chupacabra was a four-legged, hairless, ugly beast with leathery blue skin. Ranchers weren't seeing spaceships anymore. They were seeing something feral, ugly, and desperate attacking their chickens. The mystery had split in two: the water beast of Scotland that refused to be caught, and the land beast of the Americas that was changing its shape. For decades, this image defined the Loch Ness Monster. The surgeon's photograph. The ultimate proof. Until 1994, when the deathbed confession revealed the truth. It was a toy submarine with a head made of wood putty, a revenge hoax against a newspaper. And in Texas, the evidence was ugly. They weren't finding alien corpses. They were finding sick dogs. Science finally stepped in. Dead chupacabras were brought to universities for genetic testing. The results were undeniable. Every single tested carcass was a known animal, usually a coyote or raccoon, suffering from a severe case of sarcoptic mange. Mites burrow under the skin, causing all fur to fall out. The skin thickens, wrinkles, and turns gray or blue. The animal becomes unrecognizable. The monster wasn't a new species. It was a familiar neighbor, tortured by disease, too weak to hunt wild prey, forced to target easy livestock. So, the Texas Chupacabra is solved. But what about the blood draining? And what about the infinite depths of Loch Ness? The blood draining of the Chupacabra is a myth born of ignorance. When an animal dies, blood settles. It doesn't gush when cut. A terrified farmer in the dark sees a strange puncture wound, no blood, and assumes a vampire struck. Fear fills in the gaps that biology leaves open. But you can't explain away Loch Ness with mange. The loch holds more fresh water than all the lakes in England and Wales combined. It's nearly 800 feet deep in places. You could hide the Eiffel Tower in there and never see the top. In 1987, Operation Deep Scan deployed a curtain of sonar across the loch. They got hits. Massive moving targets deeper than any known fish should be. The contacts were larger than sharks. And they were moving. The skeptics went silent. For a moment, the monster was real again. But the ultimate hunt wouldn't use sonar or cameras. In 2019, Professor Neil Gemmell decided to hunt for ghosts using their DNA. Environmental DNA. Every living thing leaves a genetic trail, scales, skin, waste, floating in the water. If Nessie was there, her code was too. They took samples from depths no human had ever reached. They ran the sequences against every known animal database. The world waited. The results were devastating for believers. No reptile DNA, no prehistoric survivor, no giant sturgeon, but they found something else. An astonishing, overwhelming amount of eel DNA. More than almost any other creature in the loch. European eels travel thousands of miles to reach Loch Ness. They usually grow to a few feet. But what if, in that cold, isolated darkness, they don't stop growing? A 12 or 15-foot eel, thick as a telephone pole, surfacing for air. Its rolling body perfectly mimics the humps reported for centuries. We are left with two realities. The Chupacabra is a pathetic, diseased canine magnified by fear. Nessie is likely a supersized version of a common fish. Science has spoken. The DNA doesn't lie. The veterinary reports are conclusive. The mysteries, technically, are solved. But why do we refuse to accept it? Why does the legend feel more real than the lab report? Because our brains are wired to see monsters in the dark. We evolved needing to spot predators before they spotted us. A floating log isn't just a log. It's a serpent head until proven otherwise. A mangy dog isn't sad. It's a demon until the sun comes up. And let's be honest, the mystery is profitable. Nessie brings millions to Scotland. The Chupacabra sells t-shirts and movies. But the roots go deeper than money. In Scotland, before Nessie, there were kelpies, shape-shifting water spirits that lured children to their watery graves. The land itself is soaked in myth. The monster is just the modern skin we put on an ancient superstition that the water is alive. In Mexico, the myth became mass hysteria. In 1996, it wasn't just a story, it was a social panic. Entire villages organized hunting parties. Politicians used the Chupacabra to distract from economic crisis. If the people are hunting a vampire, they aren't watching the government. It's called pareidolia, the psychological phenomenon where the mind forces chaotic data, like a wave or a shadow, into a recognizable image. On the Loch, a boat wake hits a log. For 3 seconds, it's a monster. By the time you grab your camera, it's gone. In Texas, a raccoon standing on 2 legs looks like a goblin in the headlights. We see what we expect to see. The legend has become a mascot. Nessie is now a guardian of the Highlands, a friendly face on a biscuit tin, stripped of her terror. And the Chupacabra appears in cartoons and lunchboxes. We took the things that go bump in the night and turned them into merchandise. But for the true believers, the merchandise argument is an insult. They claim the science is a cover-up. Let's go back to Puerto Rico. The lab accident theory refuses to die. Locals whisper that the creature escaped from a secret facility. Why did the military cordon off areas of the rainforest in 1995? Was it a cleanup operation for a genetic experiment gone wrong? Some theorize the Chupacabra was a chimera, a biological weapon designed to hunt in the jungle, which got loose and started feeding. And at Loch Ness, the eel theory has holes. Eels don't surface to breathe. They stay at the bottom. Why would a giant eel stick its head out? and plesiosaurs were air breathers. If Nessie was a reptile, she would need to surface every few minutes. We would see her constantly. Unless she has evolved. Unless the creature in the loch is something we haven't even named yet. Over 1,000 recorded sightings. Are they all liars? Are they all looking at logs? Probability says at least one must be real. Could the Chupacabra be an exotic pet? A thylacine? A primate smuggled into the Caribbean that escaped and established a breeding population? Could the loch have underwater caves? Tunnels that lead to the ocean, allowing creatures to enter and leave at will? Geologists say no. The loch is a sealed bowl. If it's in there, it's trapped. And if it's trapped, it has to eat. A predator that size needs tons of food. The loch simply doesn't have enough fish to support a family of dinosaurs. They would starve. The science is brutal. Physics and biology conspire to kill the monster. But the legend is immune to starvation. Because the monster doesn't live in the water. It lives in the story. It lives in the what if. We have been hoaxed so many times. The surgeon's photo, the fiberglass hump, the dead monkey dressed as a monster. Yet even the hardest skeptics pause when they see the Texas carcasses. Mange doesn't usually change the shape of a jawbone. The deformities are extreme. Is it just disease, or is pollution mutating the local wildlife into something new? Perhaps the Chupacabra is a warning, a symbol of what happens when we poison our own environment. Nature fights back with ugliness. And Nessie? She is the guardian of the wild. As long as she exists, the world hasn't been fully conquered by highways and Wi-Fi. Sightings are dropping. As cameras get better, the monsters get shy. The era of the blurry photo is ending. High definition is the enemy of the unknown. We are pixel peeping the magic out of existence. But wait, look at this image from 2018, photographed by a tourist. It defies the wave theory. It defies the boat wake theory. Experts admit, inconclusive. That single word keeps the entire industry alive. Inconclusive means maybe. In Puerto Rico, hikers still report hearing a screech that sounds like no bird or monkey. A high-pitched, mechanical shriek. Sound analysis of these recordings doesn't match local fauna. Is it a hoax or a species we haven't cataloged? We discover new species every year. Usually small, deep sea, or insect. But is a medium-sized predator impossible? Remember the coelacanth. Thought extinct for 65 million years, until a fisherman caught one in 1938. Biology has surprises. The peat in Loch Ness makes the water opaque. You can't see more than a few feet. Anything could hide if it stays still. Thermal drones have picked up heat blooms. Warm spots in cold water. Fish are cold-blooded. What was making that heat? Could a seal have gotten in? A seal surfacing looks like a head. But seals are noisy. We would hear them barking. The timeline tells a story. We peaked in the analog age. In the digital age, the monsters are dying. Maybe the monster isn't gone. Maybe we just stopped looking. We are too busy looking at our screens. The hunt has moved from science to clickbait. It's not about finding the truth. It's about getting the view count. But there are still purists. The Loch Ness Investigation Bureau. Volunteers who sit in vans for weeks, watching rain hit the water. Why do they do it? It's the thrill of the lottery. The chance that today is the day the world changes. Whether she is real or not, Nessie has achieved immortality. She is more famous than the Prime Minister. And the Chupacabra? It is a shapeshifter. It adapts to our fears. From alien invader to feral plague, technology has armed the farmers. Trail cams are everywhere. If the Chupacabra returns, it will be in 4K. And yet, even trail cams produce ghosts. A blur, a shadow, a glowing eye. The mystery survives the megapixels. The desert keeps its secrets. There are ravines and caves in Mexico where no human walks. Is there a pocket population of something strange out there? Probably not. But probably isn't definitely. We are approaching the end of our investigation. The evidence for both is weak. The science against them is strong. The scale tips heavily to the skeptics. Mange and eels. It's boring, but it's the truth. But do we want the truth? Or do we want the magic? A world without monsters is a smaller world. Cryptozoology is the study of hidden animals. It is the last refuge of the explorer in a mapped world. There are other monsters. The dinosaur of the Congo, the yeti of the Himalayas. Nessie and Chupacabra are just the celebrities. They are part of a family of shadows. As long as there is wilderness, there will be guardians of the wild. Back to the Loch. Imagine you are swimming. Something brushes your leg. Do you think it's an eel? Or do you panic? That panic is the monster. The monster is real because the fear is real. Your amygdala doesn't care about DNA studies. It cares about survival. That is why the legend will never truly die. The Loch was here before us. It will be here after us. It keeps its counsel. Let's finalize the dossier. Loch Ness, the verdict is illusion, fueled by expectant attention and potentially giant eels. The Chupacabra, the verdict is mistaken identity. Sick animals turned into demons by a pop culture-influenced public. Rationally, the cases are closed. We can file them away in the cabinet of folklore. But I'm not going to lock that cabinet. Because closed is a dangerous word in science. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because we haven't found a plesiosaur doesn't mean the Loch is empty. And just because the Texas Chupacabra is a dog doesn't mean the Puerto Rican anomaly was. What if Madeline Tolentino saw something real, and the movie reference was just the only way her brain could process it? We live on a strange planet. We are still learning the rules. So, while I accept the mange and the eels, I keep a small corner of my mind open. Because a world with monsters is a world that can still surprise us. And I love surprises. We learned that the true monster is often just a mirror, reflecting our own primal fears back at us. We fear the dark, so we populate it with beasts. It gives a face to the anxiety of the unknown. We laugh at them now. But remember, the giant squid was a myth until we found one. The gorilla was a legend until we found one. The line between monster and animal is just one capture away. We have stripped the flesh from these legends. We found wood putty, sick coyotes, and giant eels. We found the truth. Yet when you stand at the edge of that black water, the DNA reports don't matter. The silence of the loch screams that something is watching you. And when the sun sets on the ranch and a twig snaps, you don't fear a mite, you fear the beast that desires blood. The true mystery isn't the animals. It's us. It's our unstoppable need to keep the monsters alive, no matter what science says. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, hit that like button. It helps the channel hunt down more mysteries. If you think these two were terrifying, you aren't ready for next week. We're heading to Point Pleasant to hunt the winged harbinger of doom. I'm your host, and this has been Whispers of Mystery. Sleep well, if you can.